Hello, friends. In this episode, we will see what is cloud computing, right? Before I start, I just want to give you one example wherein suppose that there is a company and they have got there's an IT company and they have got some project, right? And for that project, they are in need of some 5 to 6 iron machines. So generally, before cloud computing, what they used to do, they used to go in the market and they used to buy those iron machines. That machines will be installed on their on in their premises, that is on prem, and then they will have to make sure the software installation part, software license procurement, and like updating those patches 24 by 7 electricity. So all these task will be taken care has to be taken care rather by the company itself, right? So there is a certain cost involved. So let's say suppose the project got over and now they are not in need of those 5 to 6 high machines. Basically, in that case those machines will be underutilized, but there was a cost involved initially, right? So to overcome this issue, there are certain companies, they come up with cloud computing, wherein in the same scenario, the company can go for a rent machine on rent basis. So basically, those in same scenario, the company can go and have those machines on rent basis, and this will be as a pay as you go model. So what I mean to say by pay as you go model is that the company has to pay for the amount they have used for. So this way the cost will get reduced by almost 90%, because they don't have to worry about all this software installation, software license procurement, and how those machines are gets maintained. They have to just have those machines rented and use as per their need. So let us see let us go in detail about cloud computing. So let me go to my next slide. So we will be covering in this episode why cloud, and after that we'll talk about what is cloud. We will see what are the service models. We will also see deployment models. We will talk about cloud providers, and we will see a cloud demo. So for that, for cloud demo, I have already created some videos, right? So those will be covered under cloud demo. So you can very well go and watch those videos, like how to create an instance, Windows based, Linux based, and there are some more videos I have already uploaded. So do watch, and that will be covered under cloud demo. So before cloud computing, what was the scenario basically? Suppose you want to host a website, right? So you have to do following. Basically, you need to do certain things, right? So what are those? You will buy a stack of servers, because obviously those web server will be installed in a server, right? So you will buy a server. After that, suppose there is a huge traffic, right? So suppose there is a festive season and sudden there is an increase in traffic. So what you will do, you will buy more servers, right? And then you will have those your website installed in those servers, right? To maintain the high traffic, and then you will have to also monitor and maintain the server. So it's not only buying a server, so you have to make sure that all servers are gets updated with the required patches, all software installation, and everything will be taken care. So there's a manpower involved. So that was the thing we used to do before cloud computing. So to the disadvantage of this particular model was basically, if you consider cost, right? So this setup is expensive, so keep on buying those servers as in when the traffic gets increased, and there is a manpower also involved, so there is a separate cost to maintain those servers, right? And also we lot of time, we spend our time in troubleshooting those tedious and problems, wherein we don't look into the business goals. We spend our time in maintaining those servers, and it also happens that traffic doesn't have same traffic all the time, so traffic gets vary also. So whatever extra servers you bought it for to maintain the high traffic, those will be underutilized. So these were the couple of disadvantages of that particular model. So to overcome this issue, the cloud came. So basically, if you just realize, nowadays we are generating a lot of data, like digital data. What I mean to say is that very simple, like earlier bank statement. So those bank statement used to come in a hard copy, right? Earlier it was on monthly basis, then it went on quarterly basis, then after that it used to be on yearly basis. So all these bank statements, I'm just taking examples. So those are into your email, right? And then obviously for music files or some or data, some movie. So all these data we are generating on daily basis, more data compared to in previous days we used to interact via a hard copy, or we used to interact over the phone. So now we are interacting mostly by this data, right? So since now we are generating a lot of data, so where do we store it, right? So we would need some space, right? So cloud computing is a one solution to that. And basically if there is a more data, so there is a limit of your hard drive, right? So you may have to, you can't easily increase your hard drive of your laptop, right? So how you will make sure that even though you are generating more data, how you will store it? So in cloud computing, you can store the data easily. So right, so this is what like about cloud computing. And now what is cloud? So a definition, if I talk about generally, if you go and ask people what is cloud, so they will just say that cloud is basically what they think, that I'm storing some data. So here we are not storing the data, we are also computing those data. We are also uh, creating applications over the cloud. Those applications will be used by some other applications, rather some other third party application. Let's say example, right? So Zomato, what you do, you just order a food, right? And then you can track your delivery from Zomato. So how Zomato take the location of your of the delivery boy, Zomato delivery boy. Zomato speak to the Google apps via through cloud. So right, so here Zomato is using services of Google Maps, or rather Google has provided some interface by which Zomato is getting the location of his delivery boy. So this way we are able to track our order also. So it's all about cloud, right? So cloud is not about just storing the data. Cloud is more than storing the data. So what is basically storing data application remote servers? So that is one thing you can say the cloud computing. Also we process the data and applications from servers, and also we access the data and application via internet. So the one example I took of Zomato and Google, right? So here Zomato is accessing Google services to have it location, like to get the location of his delivery boy. And then whoever the user is has placed the order, they will be able to track that their order, right? So here Zomato is using accessing the some data applications over the internet, right? So this is what cloud computing. Now service model. So if I go and talk about service model, so there are mainly three service models of cloud computing. One is SaaS, that is software as service. The second is platform as a service, and then infrastructure as a service. So let's see what is software as a service. Let me give one example of pizza, right? So when you order a pizza online from Domino's or any other app, right? So in this case, pizza gets delivered at your home, and then you have pizza at your home only. Here we are not going anywhere, we are just consuming the service. So basically this is software as a service. A very good example would be your Gmail. We just store, compose the emails, we have the emails delivered, and all the things we do. We don't have to worry about how that Gmail application was installed, and how that application is getting maintained, right? So that is basically software as a service. So here I'm consuming a service uh, which is present over the cloud, right? So this is software as a service. Second is platform as a service. Same pizza example I'll take. We go to restaurant and we have the pizza, right? Earlier we were having at our home. Now I went to restaurant and I'm having the pizza. Here I'm using, rather I'm taking enjoying the premises of a restaurant, right? So I'm using a certain platform to have pizza delivered to me. So I'm at restaurant now. So this would be a example of a platform as a service. So let's say example of Google Sites. So in Google Sites, what you do, you just log into Google Sites and have your website delivered, right? So you don't have to right, buy a hardware, install those web servers, nothing, right? You get a platform. So platform is a Google Sites example I'm taking. Here you are creating your applications, website. So it basically is a platform as a service. So third is a infrastructure as a service. So here for the same pizza example, here what you will do, you will buy those whatever you need to bake a pizza. You will buy the stuffs from outside, like from market, and you have it cooked at your home. So in home you will be use your microphone, sorry, microwave, and then here you are using certain infrastructure, and have you are you by using of this infrastructure you are getting your pizza ready. So example, if I take those EC2 instances wherein we create those VMs, right? So on those, in that VMs I can install my OS, I can install my applications. So this would be a best example of infrastructure as a service. So these were the three models, service models. So again, let us I'll show you. Let me start my uh, pointer here. So software as a service, these all red boxes, you don't have to worry about it, right? What you will do, you'll just manage your data. How you manage your data? Gmail. So in Gmail you are just managing your emails and everything. So software as a service, you don't have to worry about how this all networking, virtualization, how these applications. So this will be managed by your vendor. So vendor would be AWS or Google Cloud or Azure. So that will see. So basically all these headache will be taken care by your cloud service provider, right? Coming to platform as a service, wherein you will be managing your applications and data. Google Sites, I took previously I took example of Google Sites, wherein by use of Google Site I'll be creating my website. So website is my application, and then I'll maintain my data, right? So I don't have to worry about all these red boxes in case of platform as a service. So those will be taken care by a vendor. And coming to infrastructure as a service, here uh, all this networking, storage, server, virtualization, that will be taken care by your vendor. So once you create your EC2 instance, you can very well install other OS, or you will install your all applications middleware runtime data. So this would be an example of service model as a infrastructure as a service. There are a couple of deployment models. We'll see. There are three deployment models: private cloud, public cloud, and hybrid cloud. So what is public cloud? Public cloud is basically this is a service provider. They, what generally they do, they just create those applications or images, and those are easily available. Obviously, on some you have to pay for that, and then you can use those applications over the cloud. So those are basically public cloud. Let's say like I have created some uh, EC2 instance, right? Rather, I've created some Linux machine, and what I'll do, I'll just create a image of it, and I'll upload it in the public cloud. So the people, if they want, they can just use that particular image. They can go to Amazon Marketplace, an example I'm saying, and they can have it whatever cost is there, that and then they will pay that cost, and they will use those services because they are easily available over the publicly, right? Private cloud. So private cloud basically it will be private to the company. So generally there are certain applications which oh, the company doesn't want those applications to be public. So they offer some hosted services to limited number of people, right? So I've created some applications, and I want this data to be accessed by certain number of people. So that is a private cloud model. Here this my applications or my whatever software I've created, that will not be publicly available. So I'm restricting certain users to get access to the same. So this is basically a private cloud. And there is a mixed model, hybrid cloud, wherein public and private cloud. So one example would be HSM, right? So HSM will be this will be on premises, because my hardware security module will be installed in my office, rather in my office space. So this is basically on-prem. So whenever I say on-prem, that will be in your premises only, that particular server is installed, right? So that will be is your on-prem and I may have third-party servers installed in my premises, and that will be as a comes in under private, because since that will not be accessible because there is certain firewall, there is certain restriction to those private clouds. So that is one private cloud, and certain applications I'm using from public cloud. So it's basically a hybrid cloud model, right? Now, come to cloud providers. So there are certain cloud providers. Amazon Web Services is the one of the biggest cloud service provider. I think they have more than 30% of market, capital taken care by Amazon Web Services. And after that, Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure. There are certain more companies, but majorly, if I talk about, yeah, if you see AWS, GCP, and Microsoft Azure. So these are the majorly cloud service provider. Most of the applications basically Netflix, right? So it's Netflix. They are using services of AWS. So AWS market, because they started pretty much very old, right? So they are the one started with this cloud computing, and after that all these players came into the picture. So that is the reason Amazon Web Services has got pretty much good market share, right? So that is what I wanted to cover in cloud computing. So for demo, please watch my videos which I have already uploaded, right? And then what I'll do, I'll keep on uploading more videos about cloud computing and more about theory part. So it will be easy for you, right? So that's it. Yeah. Good day.